Hello, welcome to the Forte Kinetics setup tutorial. Um, so, first thing we're going to do once you drag it in is you're going to want to go to game settings, make sure it's published, make sure that the same username that you bought the product with in the hub game is the game user that owns the game, or if it's a group owned by the user that you bought it with, that's also fine, but it can't be your friend's game. So you're going to want to go to Game Settings, Security. You're going to want to click these two on. And you're going to want to click Save. So now, let's get into the actual setup. So all I have to do is ungroup this. Then, let's start with the settings. So, data store name. So you're going to want to set that to something like Kinetics data. That is where all your queues are going to be saved. So if you have multiple instances of Kinetics, you're going to want to have different names for each one. Easing, that's whether or not you want the effects to slow down gradually, or if you want them to just abruptly stop whenever you stop moving. Max phase, it's the phase slider, the maximum value of it. That'll make sense once we go over the functions in game. Max speed, same thing but for speed. Tear, this is what is the zero value. It's the lowest value that they will go to. So 3 means that they will go to about here. This is the highest up in the hoist they'll go. If I set it to 5 or 6, then it would go down more. So those are all the main settings. So now let's go over how to set it up basically. So whitelist it with the Forte whitelist panel. And then to attach something to them, for example, attach this truss to these two hoists. So first thing you want to do is you want to make your two hoists. We're going to put the truss up here. Now you can realistically rig it. We gave you all the supplies to do so right here, but I'm just going to do it basically. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that whatever you're welding it to there, you want to make sure these are the same number, because these cannot slant, sadly. You want to click in the model tab up here. You're going to want to click create and then the arrow and then weld. So then the first thing I'm going to click is this hook, and the second thing is the truss. And we'll do that again on this side. And you want to make sure this truss is unanchored. And then when we click show welds, we'll see that one is green and one is gray. As long as one thing connected to whatever you want to be connected to Kinetics is green, that means you're good. So now if I go into Kinetics, and select one, I can bring that up and down. And if stuff is ever breaking, it won't stop going down, like this for example, you can just click down or click up, and then left click and right click an effect, and that will fix everything in a few seconds. So I guess I can go over the phase and the speed. We have our wave effect right here. This truss is very glitchy. Oh wait, no, that was that thing. Sorry, I have 12 instances of Studio, one sec. So the phase is how far it travels with each effect. I can set it to higher. And we'll go further. I can set it to lower. We'll go lower. and the speed is how fast it goes through the effect. And speed also affects these. As you can see, if I turn it to a high speed, it goes like that, but if I do it to a low speed, it takes a lot longer. So now let's go over adding a flux fixture to our truss. So I'm going to choose this one right here, this profile. So I'll orient it, and then for flux, they make it really easy. We go to so I haven't actually done it with the new flux, but it should be very similar. So we're going to use this plugin called Weld Master. So we're going to unanchor the base of pan or whatever. I'm going to click Set Root. Then we're going to select all the stuff in the base here. And then we're going to click Weld All. So now it's all connected. So now we can move it onto our truss. So, and then weld it to the truss. And we can duplicate that a few times too. You want to make sure that the weld is enabled, because if it's not enabled, then it isn't going to work. It's just going to fall down. And Roblox likes to disable your welds. So then, once again, let me move a flux panel over. So now, if we bring that truss down, you'll see that the flux moves with it. And the flux can move at the same time as the kinetics. And it works perfectly. So now let's go over some of the panel features. So for that, I'm just going to set up a bunch of these balls. Oh yeah, to set up the balls, you just number this and drag it into the Q7's folder of flux. And then you can control it with flux. They're not scripted separately. So I'm going to cut and I'm going to set up a bunch of these. By the way, just a quick little footnote. To rename the hoist until the Forte plugin comes, I would use this Flux Toolkit plugin. Made by Omuda. Alright, now that we have all of our hoist set up properly, so this is the selection tab. So this is how you can create your things. So if you click show hide, this will show you the numbers for all your hoists. It's super useful when selecting queues. So for example, with the selection tab, I select like 1, 2, 3, 4, then click hold down. Only those will go. And then click reset to bring it back to the 0 value. And actually, since the tear value is different than what they were set to, I'm just going to reset all. And I don't know why they're lagging a bit. In your game, they should not. So groups, I haven't set them up yet. But the way groups work is, so these are just the default ones from a default setup. But the way groups work is I can just show you. So the groups are in the scripts folder. So this is what the setup looks like. Super easy. So you just name it, and then you put all the numbers of the hoist that you want to be in that group. So if I select only those, Now you can see that only some of them are going down. I can play an effect. And we'll play for just that group. And then if I stop the effect, play it again, but after clicking select all, it'll play on all of them. So now let's go over how cues work. Oh yeah, by the way, you right click to stop effects. Now let's go over cues. So cues are ways of storing positions. So let's say I wanted to make a cue where only this front row is down on the floor and everything else is still up. So I'd select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'll bring this down. I'll call this front down. And I click save. Now if I reset, I'll do an effect just to like randomize everything. So if I click this, all the hoists are going to move to that position. And then let's say that I also wanted this back layer to be there. This back layer to be down. So I'll select those. Let's bring those down as well. And I can type in front down. Click update. Now if I reset all, and then click that again, go there. Or say I don't even want that cue anymore. I can just click delete, and now there's no front down anymore. You can have as many cues as you want, so I'll just make one. Then even when I rejoin the game, I can still go to cues and I can replay that. Alright, so I think that's about it for this tutorial. Sorry that I couldn't get it out with the product release. It was rushed for reasons, but yeah. Hope you enjoy Forte Kinetics. Bye.